17 black celebrities who secretly transitioned and you didn't know about it. What if some of the most courageous pioneers in American history were forced to hide their true identities just to survive? For decades, these remarkable black trailblazers lived in silence, battled discrimination, and risked everything simply to be themselves. Yet despite rejection, hardship, and unimaginable sacrifices, they changed history forever. From groundbreaking entertainers to fearless activists, their stories remained hidden for far too long. Today, we're uncovering the extraordinary lives of black transgender icons whose courage reshaped culture and inspired generations. Some of these stories may shock you, while others may move you to tears. Before we begin, please like this video, subscribe to Golden Black Legends, and tell us in the comments which story touched your heart the most. Jackie Shane. Few stories in music history are as remarkable as that of Jackie Shane. Born in Nashville, Tennessee in 1940, Jackie grew up during the era of segregation when simply being different could bring enormous hardship. From an early age, Jackie understood that the identity the world expected did not match who she truly was. Yet in a society that offered little acceptance, she learned to protect that truth while quietly nurturing her dream of becoming a performer. Everything changed after Jackie left the American South and eventually settled in Toronto, Canada, in the early 1960s. There, her extraordinary voice quickly made her one of the city's most exciting nightclub performers. Audiences were captivated by her emotional delivery, elegant stage presence, and undeniable charisma. Jackie's popularity soared especially after the release of her legendary live recording of Any Other Way in 1963, a song that would later be embraced as an anthem of authenticity and self-expression. While fans adored her music, many remained curious about her personal life. Jackie rarely discussed it publicly. At a time when revealing such deeply personal truths could destroy a career, she chose privacy. Instead of explaining herself, she simply lived on her own terms, appearing on stage exactly as she wished and refusing to conform to society's expectations. Then, just as her career seemed destined for even greater success, Jackie unexpectedly disappeared from the public eye in the early 1970s. For decades, fans wondered what had happened. The answer was deeply personal. Jackie stepped away from fame to care for her aging mother and live a quieter life away from constant scrutiny. In 2017, at the age of 77, Jackie publicly confirmed that she was a transgender woman, finally sharing a truth she had carried throughout her life. She passed away in 2019 at age 78, leaving behind a powerful legacy as a pioneering black transgender artist whose courage continues to inspire generations. Miss Major Griffin-Gracy. Miss Major Griffin-Gracy's life is a story of survival, courage, and extraordinary compassion. Born in Chicago in 1940, she grew up during a period when transgender people faced severe discrimination, constant harassment, and widespread misunderstanding. Yet despite these overwhelming obstacles, Miss Major refused to hide who she was. As a young adult, she moved to New York City searching for acceptance and community. Life was far from easy. Employment opportunities were limited, housing was unstable, and police harassment was a constant reality. Like many transgender women of her generation, Miss Major experienced repeated arrests simply because of how she dressed and expressed herself. She also spent time in prison experiences that left lasting scars, but ultimately strengthened her determination to fight injustice. Miss Major was present during the historic Stonewall Uprising in June 1969, one of the defining moments in LGBTQ+ history. Although she never sought personal recognition, her first-hand experiences during that era have become invaluable historical testimony. For decades afterward, she dedicated her life to helping society's most vulnerable individuals, particularly transgender people who had been abandoned by their families or pushed into homelessness. During the devastating AIDS crisis of the 1980s and 1990s, Miss Major became a source of support, comfort, and advocacy for countless people affected by the epidemic. Later, as executive director of the Transgender, Gender Variant Intersex Justice Project, she worked tirelessly to defend incarcerated transgender individuals and expose abuses within the prison system. What truly distinguishes Miss Major is her compassion. Many younger transgender people affectionately call her Mama Major, because of the guidance, shelter, and unconditional love she has provided throughout her life. Now, in her 80s, Miss Major remains one of the most respected elders in the transgender rights movement, a living symbol of resilience whose legacy continues to shape future generations. Janet Mock. Janet Mock's journey is one of remarkable courage, determination, and self-discovery. Born in Honolulu, Hawaii, in 1983, Janet grew up facing challenges that many people could scarcely imagine. Raised in a working-class family, she struggled from an early age to reconcile the identity assigned to her at birth with the person she knew herself to be. During her teenage years, while still attending high school, Janet quietly began her transition, determined to live authentically despite the fears and uncertainties that surrounded her. At just 18 years old, after saving money from part-time jobs, Janet traveled to Thailand to undergo gender confirmation surgery. It was a deeply personal decision that she kept private from many people in her life. Returning to the United States, Janet focused on building a future for herself, eventually moving to New York City and establishing a successful career in journalism and media. For years, colleagues and friends knew her simply as a talented writer and editor, unaware of her earlier struggles. Everything changed in 2011 when Janet publicly shared her story. Refusing to live in silence any longer, she published her groundbreaking memoir, Redefining Realness, in 2014. The book became a bestseller and was widely praised for its honesty, helping millions better understand the experiences of transgender women, particularly transgender women of color. Janet later expanded her influence into television, becoming a writer, director, and producer on acclaimed series such as Pose. In doing so, she made history as one of the first openly transgender women of color to hold major creative roles in mainstream television. Today, Janet Mock is far more than a media personality. She is an influential advocate whose voice has inspired countless individuals to embrace their authentic selves. Her story reminds us that truth, though sometimes difficult to share, possesses the power to transform lives and change society. Brian Michael Smith. Brian Michael Smith has quietly broken barriers while building a successful acting career in Hollywood. Born in Ann Arbor, Michigan in 1983, Brian spent much of his early life navigating questions about identity while pursuing his dreams in the performing arts. Long before the public knew his story, Brian had already made the deeply personal decision to transition and live authentically as a man. During the late 2000s and early 2010s, Brian worked diligently to establish himself in the entertainment industry. Determined to be recognized for his talent rather than his personal history, he lived privately and focused entirely on his craft. He changed legal documents carefully, built his professional image, and pursued opportunities in television and theater. Many colleagues had no idea that Brian was transgender. His breakthrough came through roles in productions such as Queen Sugar, where he became the first openly transgender man cast in a recurring role on a primetime television series as a cisgender male character. Later, audiences came to know him through appearances in popular shows, including 911 Lone Star. His performances demonstrated that transgender actors could portray a wide variety of characters rather than being limited to stories solely about gender identity. In 2017, Brian publicly revealed that he was transgender. In an interview with People magazine, he explained that he wanted to help create greater visibility for transgender men, particularly Black transgender men, whose stories had often been overlooked. The decision was not easy, but Brian believed openness could create opportunities for others. Beyond acting, Brian has become an important advocate for representation and inclusion in entertainment. His willingness to share his experiences has encouraged meaningful conversations about identity acceptance and visibility. Brian Michael Smith's journey is ultimately a story of authenticity. By embracing who he truly is while pursuing artistic excellence, he has opened doors for future generations and proven that talent transcends labels, stereotypes, and societal expectations. Marsha P. Johnson. Marsha P. Johnson remains one of the most beloved and influential figures in LGBTQ+ history. Born in Elizabeth, New Jersey in 1945, Marsha moved to New York City during the 1960s with little money but enormous determination. In Greenwich Village, she found a community among people who, like her, often lived on society's margins. Over time, Marsha became known for her colorful clothing, flower-adorned hats, infectious laughter, and extraordinary generosity. Although history frequently described Marsha as a drag queen, many modern activists regard her as a pioneering transgender icon because of the way she lived and expressed her identity. Regardless of labels, Marsha devoted her entire life to supporting vulnerable members of the LGBTQ+ community, particularly homeless youth and transgender individuals rejected by their families. Marsha played a significant role during the Stonewall Uprising in June 1969, an event widely recognized as the beginning of the modern LGBTQ+ rights movement. Following Stonewall, she continued advocating tirelessly for equality and social justice. Alongside fellow activist Sylvia Rivera, Marsha co-founded Stardust Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries, an organization that provided shelter, food, and support to homeless LGBTQ+ youth. Despite her growing reputation as an activist, Marsha herself often lived in poverty. She frequently shared her limited resources with others, sometimes sacrificing her own comfort to ensure someone else had a place to sleep or something to eat. Her kindness earned her the affectionate title of Saint Marsha among many friends and admirers. Tragically, Marsha was found dead in the Hudson River in July 1992 at the age of 46. Her death was initially ruled a suicide, though many supporters questioned that conclusion for years. Today, Marsha P. Johnson's legacy continues to inspire activists around the world. Her life demonstrates that compassion, courage, and unwavering authenticity can leave a lasting impact far greater than fame or recognition alone. Laverne Cox. Laverne Cox has become one of the most recognizable and influential transgender figures in modern entertainment. Born in Mobile, Alabama in 1972, Laverne faced significant struggles during childhood. Growing up in the American South, she often felt different from those around her and experienced bullying because of her gender expression. Yet even during difficult times, she remained determined to pursue her dreams. After studying dance and acting, Laverne gradually established herself in the entertainment industry. Early in her career, opportunities were limited and transgender performers were rarely given meaningful roles. Nevertheless, she persevered, appearing in independent productions while continuing to refine her craft. Everything changed in 2013 when Laverne was cast as Sophia Burset in Netflix's groundbreaking series Orange is the New Black. Her portrayal of a transgender woman navigating life inside prison earned widespread acclaim and introduced millions of viewers to stories rarely depicted in mainstream media. The role transformed Laverne into an international star and made television history. In 2014, she became the first openly transgender person nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award in an acting category. Laverne's influence extends far beyond acting. She has used her platform to advocate passionately for transgender rights, healthcare access, anti-discrimination protections, and greater representation in media. Through speeches, documentaries, interviews, and public appearances, she has challenged stereotypes while encouraging understanding and empathy. Throughout her career, Laverne has repeatedly emphasized the importance of visibility. She believes that seeing transgender people represented authentically can save lives by helping individuals feel less isolated and more hopeful about their futures. Today, Laverne Cox stands as a trailblazer whose achievements have reshaped Hollywood. Her journey from a young person struggling for acceptance to a globally recognized advocate illustrates the transformative power of perseverance, authenticity, and self-belief. Tracy Norman. Tracy Norman's story is one of groundbreaking success, heartbreaking rejection, and extraordinary resilience. Born in Newark, New Jersey in 1951, Tracy knew from an early age that she was different. Growing up during a period when transgender people were rarely understood or accepted, she faced enormous challenges while trying to live authentically. Yet despite those obstacles, Tracy refused to give up on her dreams. After moving to New York in the early 1970s, Tracy quickly attracted attention in the fashion world. Her striking beauty, confidence, and elegance helped her secure modeling opportunities at a time when the industry offered very few opportunities to Black women, let alone transgender women. In 1975, she made history when she became one of the first Black models to appear on the packaging of Clairol hair products, a major milestone in American advertising. For several years, Tracy enjoyed tremendous success. She appeared in magazines, walked runways, and worked alongside some of the fashion industry's biggest names. Most people within the industry did not know that she was transgender. However, during the late 1970s, rumors about her past began circulating. Once her transgender identity became known, the consequences were devastating. Modeling contracts disappeared almost overnight, and opportunities that had once seemed endless suddenly vanished. Forced to step away from the spotlight, Tracy returned to a quieter life while continuing to work various jobs to support herself. For decades, many believed she had simply disappeared from fashion. Then came an extraordinary comeback. In 2015, her remarkable story was rediscovered and widely celebrated. The fashion industry that had once rejected her now recognized her as a pioneer who had broken barriers long before society was ready to accept transgender women openly. Today, Tracy Norman's legacy stands as a powerful reminder that true beauty is not defined by society's expectations, but by authenticity, courage, and perseverance in the face of adversity. Sir Lady Java. Sir Lady Java occupies a unique and important place in American entertainment and LGBTQ+ history. Born in Louisiana in 1940 and raised partly in California, Java displayed extraordinary confidence and talent from an early age. Long before discussions about transgender rights entered mainstream conversation, she was already living openly and unapologetically as herself. During the 1960s, Sir Lady Java became one of Los Angeles' most celebrated nightclub performers. Audiences packed venues across West Hollywood to watch her sing, dance, and captivate crowds with her glamour and charisma. At a time when many transgender people were forced into secrecy, Java commanded attention on stage and became a local celebrity. However, success brought unwanted scrutiny. In 1967, the Los Angeles Police Department began enforcing Rule No. 9, a regulation prohibiting performers from appearing on stage in clothing traditionally associated with the opposite sex. Authorities specifically targeted Java, threatening clubs that hired her and effectively preventing her from performing. Rather than accepting discrimination quietly, Java chose to fight back. Working alongside civil rights attorneys and organizations including the American Civil Liberties Union, she challenged the regulation and publicly protested the discriminatory policy. Although her legal efforts did not immediately overturn the law, her activism helped generate pressure that eventually contributed to its repeal. Beyond entertainment, Sir Lady Java became a symbol of dignity and resistance for countless transgender individuals. She demonstrated that visibility itself could be an act of courage in an era marked by widespread prejudice. Today, historians increasingly recognize Sir Lady Java as one of the earliest Black transgender activists in the United States. Her willingness to challenge unjust laws paved the way for future generations. Through talent, perseverance, and unwavering self-belief, she transformed personal struggle into lasting social change, ensuring that her legacy would extend far beyond the nightclub stage. Sandra Caldwell. Sandra Caldwell spent decades building a successful career while carrying a secret she feared could destroy everything she had achieved. Born in Washington, D.C. in 1951, Sandra understood from a young age that she wanted to live as a woman, yet during the 1960s and 1970s, openly discussing transgender identity could end careers, sever family relationships, and expose individuals to discrimination or violence. Determined to pursue her artistic ambitions, Sandra moved to New York, where she immersed herself in theater, music, and acting. Through talent, persistence, and hard work, she established herself as a respected performer on stage and screen. Over the years, she appeared in numerous productions, including television series, films, and theater performances. Many viewers remember her role in Disney Channel's The Cheetah Girls, although few realized the remarkable journey behind her success. For more than 3 decades, Sandra carefully guarded her personal history. She worried constantly that revealing her truth could jeopardize her career and alter how colleagues viewed her. As her professional accomplishments grew, so did the emotional burden of maintaining that secrecy. Everything changed in 2017. While preparing to audition for the play Charm, a production centered on transgender experiences, Sandra made the courageous decision to share her story publicly through the New York Times. Rather than experiencing rejection, she received widespread admiration for her honesty and bravery. Sandra's revelation transformed her into an inspirational figure for countless transgender individuals, especially older adults, who had spent much of their lives hiding important parts of themselves. Her story demonstrated that authenticity can bring liberation even after decades of silence. Today, Sandra Caldwell continues to perform while using her platform to advocate for understanding and inclusion. Her remarkable journey reminds us that it is never too late to embrace one's truth and that genuine courage often emerges after years of quiet endurance. T.S. Madison. T.S. Madison's journey from internet personality to groundbreaking media star is one of determination, reinvention, and extraordinary resilience. Born in Miami, Florida, in 1977, Madison grew up facing significant challenges while trying to understand and express her identity. Living openly as a transgender woman during a time of widespread misunderstanding required tremendous courage, yet Madison refused to allow societal expectations to define her future. Initially gaining attention through social media and online videos, Madison quickly became known for her sharp wit, unfiltered humor, and larger-than-life personality. Her candid storytelling resonated with audiences, helping her build a devoted following across multiple platforms. Unlike many entertainers who attempted to conform to industry expectations, Madison embraced authenticity, openly discussing both triumphs and hardships. As her popularity expanded, Madison successfully transitioned from internet fame to mainstream entertainment. She appeared in television programs, documentaries, and films while becoming an influential voice within the LGBTQ+ community. In 2021, she achieved a historic milestone by becoming the first Black transgender woman to star in and executive produce her own reality television series, The T's Madison Experience. Beyond entertainment, Madison has consistently advocated for transgender visibility and acceptance. She speaks candidly about discrimination, economic struggles, and the barriers many transgender individuals continue to face. By sharing her personal experiences, she has encouraged countless people to embrace their identities without shame. What makes T.S. Madison particularly compelling is her refusal to allow adversity to silence her. She transformed personal struggles into opportunities for empowerment, proving that resilience can open doors once believed permanently closed. Today, T.S. Madison stands as one of the most recognizable Black transgender figures in American media. Her influence extends far beyond entertainment. Through humor, honesty, and fearless self-expression, she has challenged stereotypes, expanded representation, and inspired a new generation to live boldly and authentically. Yance Ford. Yance Ford has earned widespread respect as both a gifted filmmaker and a pioneering voice for transgender representation in cinema. Born in the United States in 1972, Ford spent many years working behind the scenes in the film industry while quietly navigating a deeply personal journey of identity and self-discovery. Before becoming widely known, Yance built an impressive career as a producer and storyteller, contributing to numerous documentary projects. However, much of his early professional life unfolded privately as he gradually embraced and affirmed his identity as a transgender man. During this period, Ford carefully balanced personal transformation with the demands of a highly competitive industry. Everything changed with the release of Strong Island in 2017. The documentary explored the tragic murder of Ford's brother, William Ford Jr., and examined issues of race justice, grief, and family in America. The deeply personal film received widespread critical acclaim and earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Documentary Feature. That nomination carried historic significance. Yance Ford became the first openly transgender director nominated for an Academy Award, marking a major milestone for transgender representation in Hollywood. Through Strong Island, Ford not only shared an intimate family story, but also challenged audiences to confront uncomfortable truths about systemic inequality and loss. Unlike many public figures, Yance has often approached visibility thoughtfully and deliberately. Rather than seeking celebrity status, he has focused on creating meaningful art capable of inspiring reflection and social change. Today, Yance Ford remains an influential filmmaker and advocate whose work continues to resonate with audiences worldwide. His career demonstrates that storytelling possesses extraordinary power. By courageously sharing personal experiences through film, Ford has expanded representation, deepened public understanding, and ensured that voices too often overlooked are finally heard. Angie Stardust. Angie Stardust's life was a remarkable story of talent, perseverance, and self-discovery during an era when society offered very little acceptance to transgender people. Born in Harlem, New York in 1939, Angie grew up at a time when openly expressing one's true gender identity could lead to discrimination, violence, and social isolation. Yet despite these obstacles, she remained determined to live authentically and pursue her passion for music and performance. During the late 1950s and early 1960s, Angie became a prominent performer in New York's nightlife scene, particularly at the legendary Club 82, a venue famous for female impersonation acts. Audiences were captivated by her powerful voice, commanding stage presence, and undeniable charisma. While many spectators believed they were watching a performer simply playing a role, Angie was living her truth beyond the spotlight. Offstage, she lived as a woman and dreamed of a future where she could be fully accepted. However, life in America proved challenging. Opportunities for transgender performers were limited and prejudice remained widespread. Eventually, Angie left the United States and continued performing across Europe, particularly in Germany. There she found greater artistic freedom and built a successful career as a jazz and soul singer. Her rich vocals earned her the affectionate nickname Big Mama of Soul, and she became a beloved figure among audiences and fellow musicians. Although Angie enjoyed professional success, loneliness often accompanied her journey. Like many transgender individuals of her generation, she carefully guarded her personal history, fearing rejection if the truth became public. Despite these fears, she continued performing for decades, bringing joy to countless fans. Angie Stardust passed away in 2007 at the age of 83. Today, she is remembered not only for her extraordinary talent, but also for her courage. Her story serves as a powerful reminder that authenticity often requires immense sacrifice, yet it can also leave a lasting legacy that inspires future generations. Angelica Ross. Angelica Ross has transformed personal adversity into a remarkable story of achievement, becoming one of the most influential transgender women in modern entertainment and technology. Born in Kenosha, Wisconsin in 1980, Ross faced significant challenges during childhood. Growing up in a conservative environment, she often struggled with rejection and misunderstanding while trying to understand her own identity. After leaving home at a young age, Angelica experienced periods of homelessness and financial hardship. Yet, instead of allowing those struggles to define her future, she pursued education and developed an interest in technology. Through determination and self-teaching, she eventually founded TransTech Social Enterprises, an organization dedicated to helping transgender people gain job skills and economic opportunities. The initiative has empowered countless individuals seeking stability and independence. Ross later turned her attention toward acting, where she quickly established herself as a compelling performer. Her breakthrough came with the acclaimed television series Pose, in which she portrayed Candy Ferocity, a ballroom performer navigating life in New York during the late 1980s and early 1990s. The series earned widespread praise for its authentic representation of transgender experiences and featured the largest cast of transgender actors in television history. Angelica continued breaking barriers with her role in American Horror Story, becoming the first transgender performer to hold 2 series regular roles within the franchise. Beyond acting, she has become a prominent speaker, entrepreneur, and advocate for social justice, frequently addressing issues related to race, gender, identity, technology, and economic inequality. What makes Angelica Ross especially inspiring is her refusal to be limited by societal expectations. She transformed experiences of rejection into opportunities for leadership and empowerment. Today, Ross stands as a powerful example of resilience, demonstrating that adversity can become the foundation for extraordinary success when met with courage, determination, and an unwavering belief in oneself. Amya Scott. Amya Scott's journey from internet personality to actress and activist reflects both the challenges and possibilities facing transgender women in contemporary society. Born in Manhattan, New York in 1988 and raised primarily in New Orleans and Atlanta, Scott understood from an early age that she was different. During her teenage years, she began living openly as a transgender woman, embracing her identity despite facing discrimination and misunderstanding. Long before achieving mainstream recognition, Amya built a substantial following on social media. Her confidence, beauty, and honesty resonated with audiences, turning her into an influential online personality. Through social platforms, she shared her experiences while encouraging others to embrace authenticity and self-acceptance. Scott's growing popularity eventually attracted attention from the entertainment industry. In 2017, she achieved a major career milestone by joining the cast of the Fox drama series Star, created by Lee Daniels. Her portrayal of Cotton Brown, a transgender woman navigating complicated family relationships and personal struggles, earned praise from both critics and viewers. The role was particularly significant because it offered one of television's most nuanced portrayals of a Black transgender woman. Beyond acting, Amya has consistently advocated for greater representation and understanding. She frequently speaks about the importance of visibility, especially for young transgender individuals who may feel isolated or misunderstood. By sharing her personal story, she has helped foster conversations about identity, acceptance, and self-worth. Despite public attention, Amya has remained committed to using her platform responsibly. She recognizes that visibility carries both opportunities and responsibilities, particularly for members of marginalized communities. Today, Amya Scott continues inspiring audiences through her advocacy, public speaking, and artistic work. Her story demonstrates that authenticity can become a source of strength, allowing individuals not only to overcome adversity, but also to create meaningful change for those who follow in their footsteps. Gloria Allen. Gloria Allen's life was defined not by fame or fortune, but by extraordinary compassion. Born in Tennessee in 1945 and later raised in Chicago, Gloria came of age during an era when openly living as a transgender woman could invite rejection, violence, and homelessness. Yet, rather than allowing hardship to harden her spirit, she transformed pain into purpose, becoming a beloved mentor to countless young people searching for acceptance and hope. Like many Black transgender women of her generation, Gloria faced discrimination in nearly every aspect of life. Employment opportunities were scarce, housing was often unstable, and healthcare remained difficult to access. She experienced homelessness herself and understood firsthand the loneliness that often accompanies being rejected by family and society. Those painful experiences shaped her lifelong mission. Instead of turning away from struggling youth, Gloria opened her heart and frequently her home, offering shelter, guidance, and unconditional love. Affectionately known as Mama Gloria, she became a mother figure to many within Chicago's LGBTQ+ community. Her wisdom, humor, and warmth earned widespread admiration. For decades, she quietly changed lives, often without receiving public recognition. However, her inspiring journey finally reached a broader audience through the acclaimed documentary Mama Gloria, released in 2020. The film introduced viewers worldwide to a woman whose resilience had touched generations. Even in her 70s, Gloria remained deeply involved in advocacy, speaking at schools, universities, and community organizations. She believed sharing her experiences could create a kinder and more understanding world for future generations. Gloria Allen passed away in 2022 at the age of 76, leaving behind a legacy impossible to measure. She never sought celebrity status, yet her impact was profound. Through simple acts of kindness, generosity, and unwavering compassion, Mama Gloria proved that one person truly can change countless lives forever. Alexander John Goodram. Alexander John Goodram may not be widely known by the general public, yet his contributions to transgender history remain deeply significant. Born in 1960, Goodram emerged during a period when openly discussing transgender identity carried enormous personal and professional risks. At a time when very few Black transgender men were publicly visible, he courageously stepped forward, determined to ensure that future generations would not have to suffer in silence. Goodram understood isolation firsthand. During the 1980s and 1990s, resources for transgender individuals were extremely limited. Public understanding remained minimal and many people struggled alone. Rather than accepting invisibility, he dedicated himself to advocacy, education, and historical preservation. He strongly believed that documenting transgender experiences, particularly those of Black transgender individuals, was essential because history too often erased marginalized voices. Throughout the 1990s, Goodram became involved in numerous community initiatives focusing on social justice, healthcare access, and HIV/AIDS awareness. He recognized that many transgender people faced disproportionate health challenges because discrimination frequently prevented them from receiving adequate medical treatment. His work sought to address those inequalities while empowering others through knowledge and visibility. Beyond activism, Goodram was also a thoughtful writer and researcher. He emphasized the importance of preserving stories, believing history could inspire and strengthen future generations. Much of his advocacy occurred quietly away from media attention. He pursued change not for recognition, but because he genuinely cared about improving lives. Tragically, Alexander John Goodram died in 2002 at only 42 years old. His passing cut short a remarkable life dedicated to service and advocacy. Today, historians increasingly acknowledge him as a pioneering Black transgender activist whose work expanded understanding, visibility, and acceptance for countless people who came after him. Zazu Nova. Zazu Nova remains one of the most fascinating and mysterious figures associated with early LGBTQ+ activism in America. Much about her personal life has been lost to history, reflecting a painful reality faced by many gender non-conforming people of earlier generations. Nevertheless, historians widely recognize Zazu as an important presence within New York City's LGBTQ+ community during the late 1960s. Living in Greenwich Village. Zazu became known for her striking appearance, fearless personality, and refusal to accept mistreatment. During that era, police raids targeting LGBTQ+ establishments were common, and individuals who challenged traditional gender expectations frequently faced harassment, arrest, or violence. Despite those dangers, Zazu remained unapologetically visible, embodying courage at a time when simply existing openly could be considered an act of resistance. Her name is most closely linked to the historic Stonewall Uprising of June 1969. While historians continue debating the precise details surrounding those dramatic nights, numerous accounts identify Zazu as one of the courageous individuals who resisted police actions outside the Stonewall Inn. Although certain stories cannot be independently verified, there is little doubt that people like Zazu risked everything by standing their ground against injustice. Unlike many modern activists, Zazu left behind relatively few interviews, photographs, or written records. Consequently, much of what historians know comes through oral histories and recollections from contemporaries. This limited documentation highlights how frequently the experiences of transgender and gender non-conforming individuals were ignored or erased entirely. Even though significant portions of her life remain unknown, Zazu Nova's legacy continues to inspire. She represents countless overlooked individuals whose bravery helped ignite a movement that transformed society. Her story reminds us that history is often shaped not only by famous leaders but also by ordinary people displaying extraordinary courage in pivotal moments. The stories we've shared today prove that courage often comes with an unimaginable price. From Jackie Shane and Miss Major Griffin-Gracy to Marsha P. Johnson and Laverne Cox, these pioneers refused to hide who they truly were, even when society demanded silence. Their struggles opened doors for future generations, but some people still debate whether these trailblazers have received the recognition they truly deserve. Do you believe history has done enough to honor Black transgender pioneers, or are many of their contributions still overlooked today? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your opinion in the comments below, and let's continue this important conversation together. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the family at Golden Black Legends for more powerful stories that history should never forget.